damit willkommen, same day afternoon, willkommen im Prolog. In the skies of Midwest Zemuria, roughly 500 sails from Libel, fliegt er jetzt mit seinem... Ist das Dorothy, die wir da sehen? Oh Gott. Nein. Nicht Dorothy. Bloß nicht Dorothy. Und sie fotografiert die Vögel, die da rumfliegen. They've gone out of sight now. I wonder if they're busy migrating. It looks like they can't keep up with this ship, though. Guess not every bird can be as fast at seek. But they were just the cutest. Seit wann auch immer man cute mit Y schreibt. Well, look who it is. Ach, komm mal, Kevin. I know you. It really is you. Long time no see, Dorothy. I sure wasn't expecting to run into you here. Funny coincidence, huh? It really is. It's good to see you again, too. Yeah. Father. You don't remember my name, do you? Don't be silly. Of course I do. It's, Oh, I remember. It's Onion Graham. Yeah. But of course, how lucky I am to have been named after such a multi-purpose plant. That's not even a name, Dorothy. You really did forget, didn't you? Sie vergisst doch alles. Sie hat doch auch vergessen, wer Estelle ist. Was flimmert da unten eigentlich die ganze Zeit an dem Luftschiff rum? Das macht mich ja kirre. And yet you somehow managed to remember my last name like it was nothing. I was just being silly. A couple of times ago, I had this amazing onion hotpot over in the eastern quarter in Calvert, so I've still got onions on the brain. I couldn't believe a hot pot with just onions in it could taste that good, but I swear it did. It was so comforting and sweet. So that's how I ended up saying onion instead of your name. Well, whatever. Dorothy ist immer noch so ein unangenehmer Zeitvertreib da. Also Dorothy ist niemand, mit dem ich mich gerne für längere Zeit unterhalten würde. Echt jetzt. Die wird mir so schnell auf die Nerven gehen. So, if you insist you haven't forgotten, what is my name then? I do insist. I'd never forget. It's lovely to see you again, Jasmine Graham. But of course, how lucky I am to have been named after such a fragrant plant. That might be an actual name this time, but it's a woman's name. Ja. Eigentlich heißt er Chantal. Oh, I see. So you're here to carry out a follow-up investigation on all the trouble that happened earlier in the year? That's about the gist, yeah. Come to think of it, how'd you end up on an international liner like this? You said you were in the Eastern Quarter, right? Were you there to write about it for the Libel News? Yep. Niall actually let me go on my own this time, too. Wow, that was daring of him. Ja, ich weiß auch nicht, ob das so eine gute Idee war. I'm not sure I'd want to let you handle traveling abroad for a report alone. Then again, it's only by taking on positions of responsibility that people can properly grow. Oh, I'm doing plenty of that. I mean, I wasn't sure what I'd do when I ended up in Calvert instead of Bose Market, but I imagine just fine. Sie wollte eigentlich nach Bose? Wait a second. Niall told you to go to Bose, not Calvert? He sure did. But then I got on the airship, fell asleep, and before I knew it, I was chilling out in Calvert's capital. Weird, huh? It sounds like you got on the wrong airship to me. Let my brain catch up. So, you were in the Republic for literally days, when you weren't even supposed to be there at all?
Ja, die macht ihren Job auf jeden Fall sehr gewissenhaft.
Did you even have enough money to manage or ideas help us a passport?
Well, fortunately there was someone from the Liberian embassy at the airport who could issue me a temporary passport, so that was okay. And then tons of people were really nice to me and helped me while I was there, so I had all the dough a girl could ask for.
I don't even know where to start. Now I must be worried sick about you, huh?
You think? He didn't sound so hot when I called yesterday to say that I'm coming back to the office today. I keep telling him that all that smoking is bad for him, but he never listens.
I don't think you can pin the crime on tobacco this time, Missy.
Ja, ich glaube, er ist einfach voll sauer auf dich. Weil irgendwie solltest du ja nach Bose gehen und scheinbar da Fotos machen oder eine Story besorgen und dann bist du einfach tagelang weg und woanders und meldest dich nicht. Ja, also ich glaube, wenn sie in Deutschland arbeiten würde, dann wäre sie schon längst gefeuert worden. Thank you all for this video. Watching Gerät today.
Ah, die Durchsagen haben sich auch nicht verändert. Man versteht sie immer noch überhaupt nicht.
Phew, sounds like we're almost there. I'm gonna have a walk around the ship to kill some of the last half hour. How about you? I'm not sure. I suppose I might as well go and snap some more photos. It's not often I get to take an international liner like this.
Sounds like a plan. See you later then.
Later. Tschüss, Dorothy. Ich hoffe, wir sehen uns so bald nicht wieder. Sollen wir jetzt noch mit irgendwem hier reden oder so? Oder irgendwen finden? Du siehst interessant aus. Yes, I'm finally almost in Liberal. Why did I come, you ask? Because it's the last spot that ancient dragon was sighted. Ja, den habe ich gesehen. There's no information on where it went after it showed up here, so I want to try and pursue it. This is the best place for me to come. As soon as we land, I need to go and talk to Lyndon to see if he knows anything. Wenn du das meinst. Haben wir sonst irgendwen Interessantes noch hier? Hier draußen? Nein, ich sehe jetzt niemanden Interessantes. Wir müssen aber nicht einfach mit allen reden, oder? Weil das fände ich jetzt relativ blöd, wenn wir das machen würden. Guck mal, hier ist Dorothy. Why do you want to know what I wanted to be as a child to begin with? That's not really something you normally tell complete strangers with cameras in their hands, you know? I'm onto you, mister. You can't distract me. This is a serious news report here, so please answer my question.
She sure is making good use of those reporters' privileges.
Ja, super. Was das wohl für eine Story wird. Und jetzt kann ich mich nicht einfach irgendwie... Kann ich mich einfach irgendwie hinsetzen oben und den Flight einfach vorbei sein lassen? Hier zum Beispiel... Nein. Noch weiter oben. Hier. Kann ich mich hier hinsetzen? The cleaning staff for these airships really do a splendid job, didn't they? They are a fine role model for the rest of the service industry. I'm off to see my grandchild in Granville. We haven't seen each other in 3 years now. I've been really worried what with all the trouble that's been happening in Liberal. Aber das ist ja jetzt vorbei, ne? Don't go getting yourself too worked up now, man. You'll just end up screwing up even more, like usual. Was ist denn mit ihm aufgehört? Anyway, first thing is stopping by the central factory in Size. There's no better place to learn about cutting-edge orbital tech than there. I'm gonna really have to make the most of it. Really. Wenn du meinst, dann mach mal. Did you hear the announcement, sir? If not, we will soon be arriving in Ransel City. So it might be wise to check you have all the belongings on your person while you still have time to look for anything that is missing. Ja, aber ich bin eigentlich soweit fertig. Ich habe alle meine belongings. My sister can be unbelievably stubborn sometimes. How am I supposed to enjoy sightseeing when she's being like this? No, I'm not budging on this. We are going to the Royal Villa after Gransel Castle, and that is final. I can't believe you actually considering just going around fishing of all things. Warum denn nicht? Angeln ist doch auch eine Tätigkeit, die ich nie sehr gerne gemacht habe. I'm really not very good with heights. I mean, it's not phobia level or anything. I'm just not very good with them. Na gut, wenn du meinst, dass es keine Phobie ist. Phew, that was one amazing business discussion. I never thought I'd see the day when Mirano wouldn't have the upper hand in one, but it just happened. Wer zum Geier ist das? The world is full of surprises. Das ist Mirano, okay. That bargainer really knew how to put up a good fight for someone so young. Still, I've got an excellent information dealer working for me too. So the next time we do business, it's going to be a 6-4 deal in my favor. No, scratch that. 7-3. Okay. I used to be a sailor back in the day, but now I always use airships to get around. Früher war ich auch ein Abenteurer, aber dann habe ich einen Pfeil ins Knie bekommen. They're way faster than boats, for one thing, and unlike all the buses, you don't end up with a sore ass after a long journey either. Es gibt also sowas wie Busse. Interessant. Mommy, can I go have a look outside? Can I? No, you can't. Please sit down like a good girl. You're almost there now anyway, so just be quiet. Okay, sie scheint wirklich ihr Kind wirklich gern zu haben. We're finally back home in Libel. Which means it's time to start thinking of getting a house for ourselves. What kind of house would you like? The two of us have spent the past half year traveling all around the continent. I couldn't have wished for a better honeymoon. Ah, die sind also verheiratet. I'm so glad I chose him to spend my life with. Waren das zufällig die aus der Roland Chapel, denen wir nicht geholfen haben? My wife went back to her family's home. I mean, I'm as aware as anyone that I've been so busy with work lately that I haven't been able to spend any time with her, but... Ah, guck mal, erzähl das mal Kevin, der ist schon scharf auf die. If I'd known it was going to come to this, I would have sat down and talked to her about it a long time ago. Whee! Being out here feels amazing. Wenn du das so meinst, dann kannst du ruhig springen. I don't even want to be here right now. Why do I even have to go out of my way to see him anyway? It's not fair. Was ist nicht fair? Why do you want to know what I want to... Okay, das kennen wir schon. Das kennen wir schon. Überspringen das bitte. Und wenn wir mit Dorothy selbst reden... By the way, my dream was to become a phantom thief. Isn't that cool? No prizes for guessing what kinds of books she must have read as a kid. Es gibt aber schon einen Phantom Thief, der kannst du nicht mehr werden. We're approaching the Begegnung Range. Be careful of potential air turbulence in this area. I know. I've been doing this route for 3 years now. I know what I'm doing, man. Halt einfach die Fresse. Ich weiß, was ich mache. Dann haben wir nur noch den, dann haben wir mit allen geredet, oder? Alright, the orbal pressure looks perfectly normal. Oh, sorry, I'm going to have to ask you not to come down here, sir. Okay, dann eben nicht. Gut, das war's. This is the Diese Dimension. The city is the city. The train is just new. Was it just the road hasn't just returned to the seats as soon as possible? Es ist schön, wie ich mir bei der Stimme immer in meinen Schnurrbart sabber. Ach ja, da sind wir wieder in Granzel. Haben wir es nicht alle vermisst? Ich meine, so lange ist es, glaube ich, noch nicht her, dass wir hier waren. Obwohl, ich weiß gar nicht, wie viel Zeit vergangen ist seit dem Ende vom zweiten Teil. Ah, it's so lovely to be back here again. The Republic was a wonderful place too, but you can't beat the air here in Libel. You wouldn't believe all that stuff happened half a year ago, looking at Granzel now either. Also es ist tatsächlich ein halbes Jahr vergangen seitdem. It's all completely back to normal. The people here sure are strong for what's usually such a peaceful country. Well, it's a country ruled by a queen. Everyone knows women are tough in the face of adversity. I'm not sure whether you're a perfect example of that or the opposite. You're right about the air here, though. It is nice. Nostalgic almost. Makes me feel a little homesick. Your home is Arteria, right? Ja, die Arterienstadt. Die liegt gleich neben der Venenstadt. The place with all the really big churches and stuff. Nah, I'm not actually from Arteria. Not many people are. It's actually pretty darn small, like smaller than most states around the continent. It's where the high seat of the Septian Church is, so lots of pilgrims and clergymen gather there, but few are actually born there. Oh, really? Huh. So where are you from then? Dorothy. Das ist wahrscheinlich... Oh, jetzt kommt Niall und ist angry. Da ist er ja. Oh, Niall. I'm home. Did you miss me? Did I miss you? Of course I missed you. What in Ideo's name have you been doing? I sent you to Bose. How did you end up in Calvert? You were definitely on the westbound liner. I'm sure of it. I really don't know. Oh wait, I might actually know. Huh? Go on then, spit it out. I bet I'm a sleepwalker. After I got on the right airship, I fell asleep and then sleepwalked onto the wrong one. To think that all of this could turn out to be part of some elaborate murder plot. Wowie, all of a sudden I feel like I've walked right into a mystery novel. Sleepwalkers don't change airships, you idiot. I'm all out of breath now. Are you alright? I really do think you should cut down on your smoking. You're not as young as you used to be, you know. Du machst es nicht besser. Oh right, your 13th birthday was last Friday too, wasn't it? Happy birthday! I bought a cake over in Calvert and had a big celebration for it too. How is it that you can remember useless crap like that and not the things that actually matter? I bet you were just looking for an excuse to eat cake all by yourself, weren't you? You should have seen it, Niall. It was made with Eastern matcha, so it was unlike any cake I'd ever seen. That perfect blend of sweetness and bitterness was just sublime. I took lots and lots of cute pictures of it, so I'll show you them later. Ja, dann kannst du ihm Bilder von seinem Geburtstagskuchen zeigen, den du ohne ihn gegessen hast. You brought me pictures of a cake. At least bring back a souvenir. Man, they always felt like they could go into business as a comedy duo and actually make money of it, but they're even more of a crack-up now. Wait a second. Ja, nice to see you again, Niall. Ihr kennt euch auch schon, ne? You're looking same old, though maybe you're not so happy about that. What are you doing here? Please, Please tell me she didn't end up going to Arteria and causing trouble there too.
Your wish is my command. We just ran into one another on that airship by total coincidence, that's all.
Oh, good. You had me worried for a minute. I was scared stiff she'd gone and smashed some super expensive stained glass windows in the cathedral there, or who knows what.
I'm sorry for what you have to put up with. Psha! You're too much of a worrywart.
Naja, bei dir. Ich meine,
das erste Mal, literally das erste Mal, dass wir Dorothy getroffen hat, da hat sie was kaputt gemacht. Da hat sie was aus Versehen kaputt gemacht. Das war der erste Eindruck, den wir von ihr bekommen haben. Ich will's nur noch mal anmerken.
Whose fault do you think that is? Still, it's good to see you again, Father. What brings you to Libel? Something else happened here?
Oh, just a bit of work-related business I've got to take care of. It's not part of a major investigation, so don't go getting your hopes up. Nothing of interest's gonna happen.
I'll be the judge of that. Anyway, so where are you staying for the time being? Gransel Cathedral? I'll have to drop by and say hi sometime when I get the chance.
Go for it.
In the meantime, I'm dragging your butt right back to the office, Dorothy. You're going to tell us all about what the hell you've been doing these past 2 weeks.
2 Wochen waren das sogar, okay. You bet, yeah. I snapped photos of every meal I had while I was over in Calvert, so I'm sure if we develop them, I'll be able to remember everything.
I'm not talking about your gourmet report.
Ja, es wird erstmal Tacheles geredet. Warum du nichts gemacht hast. Yeah, seeing those two together really makes it sink in that I am back here. Thinking about it, I wonder how all the others are doing. I know Estelle and Joshua are abroad at the moment, but I've got no idea what the others are up to.
Is that you, Father Graham?
Wer ist das denn? Ist das Major Sid? Lieutenant Colonel Sid? Ja, den kennen wir auch noch. It's good to see you again. I'm pleased to see you've been keeping well since we last met at that banquet. The same to you, sir. I gotta say, I wasn't expecting you to be the army representative who came to meet me, though. I figured it would be Julia. It may have been, but she's currently out on another mission, so unfortunately you have to make do with me. I didn't have anything better to do, so I came in her place. Ja, hätte schon lieber eine Frau gehabt, ne? There's no need to be so modest. A little bird told me that you're going to be promoted to full-on colonel soon, aren't you? I shouldn't be surprised that your people have such a good information network, but I still am. Still, I'm afraid, I still feel the position is too much responsibility for me as I am. Brigadier General Bright still has plenty of work left in him too. I wouldn't want to take any of it from him. Poor Cassius is still getting work to the bone, huh? Anyway, getting down to business, it's in Gransel Cathedral, right? That's correct. It's being kept underneath it, to be more specific. Although I imagine you're already aware of that much. Ja, das haben wir schon gehört. I hear laymen like myself can't even enter it without the knight's permission. Pretty much. It's a special place, you see. I'll fill you in on the details when we get there. Alright then. Well, we may as well head there right away. There's someone I want you to meet in the cathedral. Huh? Who? Dein auszubildenden squire? Let's just say someone who's been assisting with this case. They'll be apprising you of the details on what you're dealing with here. Okay, auf zur Kathedrale. Der bose
Das ist gar nicht Bose. Das ist, ich wollte gerade sagen, der Bose Market steht ja wieder ganz gut, aber das ist gar nicht Bose. Das ist der Edel General Store oder wie der hieß, ne? Edel Department, was weiß ich. Edel Department Store war das, glaube ich, ne? Und da ist sie, die Kirche. Die Kathedrale. Oh, there you are. Der Priester. Und daneben steht... Ist das die Kommandantin?
It's good to see you again, Archbishop. You look very well. Huh, and you must be...
Woman in white. I wasn't expecting you to be quite this young. How old are you?
22, but...
Fängst du jetzt an zu sabbern? That's a lot younger than I expected. Are the Gralsritter really so short-staffed that they are handing out their most important posts to kids? You can't blame me for assuming the Fifth Dominion would look like more of a veteran, can you? Jetzt hast du ihn in seinem Stolz beleidigt. Your surprise is written all over your face. Someone in your position should have a much better poker face than that. Maybe you need to redo your training from scratch. Or are you just acting, I wonder?
How do you...
Professor Russell, please. Professor Russell. Kann sein, dass es Tidas Mutter ist? He isn't here for you to try and pick a fight with him. Please, try and be a little less deliberately provocative.
What?
Hell no! He's here to steal the thing we went through so much effort to bring up, and you want me to play nice? And kindly don't call me that ever again. I don't want to be addressed in the same way as that old coot. Ja, die liebevollen Faustkämpfe, die sie sich mit ihrem Vater liefert, ne?
Of course, ma'am. Wait, Russell? Then are you...
I suppose I should introduce myself. I'm Erika Russell. I'm sure it's not a name you're going to be forgetting anytime soon. Es wird wohl dann Titas Mutter sein. Das ist eine... Irgendwie sieht das komisch aus. Es sieht komisch aus. Weil irgendwie dreht sich die Treppe, aber nicht der Raum. Versteht ihr? Habe ich das Gefühl. Es sieht komisch aus davon, wie es sich bewegt.
Still, I shouldn't expect to run into little Tida's mother here. I'd heard you and your husband were both living abroad. What brought you back?
What do you think? After all that went down here, there was no way I was staying out of the country any longer than I had to. Mir wird davon irgendwie so ein bisschen schwindelig. Though, with how remote the region we were in is, it was all over by the time word reached us. Had we found out sooner, I sure wouldn't have let that maniac put half the crap he did.
Doesn't sound like you're too happy with the professor nowadays, huh?
Talk about an understatement. That whack job actually took my little girl to that floating city with him. Ja, dein little girl, das du einfach zurückgelassen hast und um das du dich nie gekümmert hast. I get that he's soft towards her, but that's no excuse for exposing her to danger.
That's fair.
And as if that isn't bad enough, he let that redhead scumbag get near her too. Meinst du grad Agate? That utter cretin isn't fit to be within 50 arch of my darling Tita, never mind actually getting friendly with her. Was für ne Bitch.
So, you don't like Agate, huh?
Don't you speak that filthy name in front of me ever again. Oh, when I'm finished with him, he'll wish he'd never been born. Meinst du jetzt Agate oder deinen Vater? He might have survived that last onslaught, but we'll see how the fares against an even more powerful unit, won't we? Kevin slowed erstmal down.
I get the feeling this is a matter we're better not prying into.
I thought the same, so I don't know any more about it than you do. Incidentally, the Professor Russell you're more familiar with is currently vacationing abroad. As such, she has been assisting us with this case in his place.
Oh, I see.
Are you two listening to me?
Of course. Sorry.
Well, whatever. Also hier ist einfach auch so eine richtige... Sie ist so eine richtige Bitch irgendwie. Ach Mann. Die hält sich für sehr wichtig. This staircase sure is long though. Ja, habe ich auch schon gesagt. How much farther would we have to go?
Not much as far as I know. Yep, there we go.
Ich glaube, das ging einfach die ganze Zeit so weiter, wie der Dialog geht. Man hätte es auch stundenlang so laufen lassen können. Ist schon eine sehr tiefe Treppe. Ich glaube, die haben den Erdkern fast erreicht, ne? A dead end? I hope you've got a good explanation for this.
I do. This isn't a dead end, but to go any farther, I'm going to need you to undertake a ritual of sorts for me.
Well, this certainly took a turn for the strange. Is this an example of the church's famous thaumaturgy?
Something like that, yes. Specifically, I would like you to undertake a form of suggestion.
I'm not sure I follow. You want us to promise not to tell anyone what we see here, right?
That's a little extreme, so no. The colonel is obviously going to need to report what happened here to his superiors, for one thing. All I want you to promise is that you won't tell anyone who you aren't certain you can trust. I don't need you to say it. I just need you to think and believe it.
Weird, but alright. If that's all you want us to do, so be it. I feel the same way. Should we deliberately repeat it in our minds then?
You don't even need to do that. It should just come completely naturally to you. Alright, here goes. In the name of she who dwells above, do I hold this consecrated septium. Space's golden glow, consciousness silver glow. By your opposing natures, reveal to them the path that leads you to your sacrament.
Huh? Jetzt können Sie es sehen. What? How did the door appear? Es war wahrscheinlich die ganze Zeit schon da, die Tür, aber ihr konntet sie nicht sehen.
Thank you both for your assistance. I can see that you were true to your word.
Ah, I see. So, if we just said it but didn't really mean it, we wouldn't be able to see anything, right? And yet I can hardly believe what happened. I imagine it would be uncouth of me to ask how all this works.
Yeah, I'd really rather you didn't.
Es ist die Thaumaturgie scheinbar, ne? Und was befindet sich da jetzt?
Anyway, come on in.
Was genau befindet sich, was er da jetzt abholen soll? Primal Ground. Wow. Unbelievable. All these years I had no idea that such a place lay hidden beneath Granzel Cathedral.
Well, it's not exactly something we publicize. It was built in accordance with the agreements between the church and the royal family. It has but one purpose: to suppress the power of ancient artifacts and keep their influence in check.
I see. Its importance to your Gralsritter is quite clear then. I'd assume there are similar ones in place other than Libel 2.
Well, I won't deny it. Anyway, we call this place a primal ground.
Now there's a deep name if I ever heard one. Is the original ground the orders are based on in Ateria?
I'll take that as a yes. Oh, I'm not confirming anything. I was just thinking about how much you take after the other Professor Russell is all.
I'll thank you not to associate me with him. He might trump me a little in the theoretical side of things, but when it comes to the practical side of orbital science, I could beat him in my sleep. And I was the one who designed the fundamental systems of the Capel and the Arsile, you know.
Really? Nice. But I think we're getting off topic here.
Ja, eigentlich bist du deswegen hier. Was ist das? Erklär es uns doch mal.
This is the object in question, right?
That's correct. It was pulled up 3 days ago from the area where the little axe sank, and we believe it to be an artifact. Okay, was ist das denn? 3 days prior, through the center of Valeria... Genau, da am Zentrum von Valeria Lake. Da haben sie das mit so einem Kran scheinbar rausgeholt. Where the little ark sank. Guck mal, der ist Gustav und die Katze ist auch wieder da.
Bam! Sun going down already, huh? If this spot turns out to be a bust, we're probably gonna have to call it quits for today.
We can only hope. Professor Russell is certain that this is the area where we should be looking.
Yep, and if she says it's here, it's here. Unfortunately, as you know, Valeria Lake's about as deep as a lake can get. Depending on how small the thing we're looking for is, actually finding it could still be a real task and a half.
Is it likely to be small, though? The orbal readings suggest we're dealing with quite a large object, I believe. Aber so groß sah das gar nicht aus jetzt, ne? Oh, I wouldn't judge its size based off those. Es gibt auch kleine Dinge, die viel vollbringen können, ne? Es kommt nicht immer nur auf die Größe an. Ah, Professor.
Hey there, kiddo. Finished getting us any new estimated location?
Just about. It would be really swell if you knocked it off with the kiddo, though. I'm not sure it's the most appropriate way to address a married woman, much less one who's already popped out a child. Das ist aber auch eine sehr schöne Art und Weise zu sagen, dass du ein Kind gekriegt hast. Die ist so rausgeploppt.
Sorry, but old habits die hard, you know. How to make the switch when I've been calling you that since you were about knee-high?
Well, I'll let you off this time. Die kennen sich also auch schon ziemlich lange. Wie alt ist denn der Gustav eigentlich? Back to work. Can you ask your subordinates to stand down for the time being, Colonel? Is this the spot then? Were you able to calculate exactly where the object is? Give or take an arch, yes. Judging by the readings, what we are trying to pull up isn't that big either. Probably about 50 reach, maybe even less.
You're serious? Though we'd be dealing with a real monster, not something the size of of Antoine.
Yeah? Still, if it does turn out to be an artifact, this could get problematic. Unfortunately, the church isn't going to want to let us keep it, that's for sure. I really cannot stand them. No matter how hard you work, you get your heads on something, the second it turns out to be an artifact, they swoop in like it's their goddess-given right to have it. It ticks me off. Aber es ist doch auch ihr goddess-given right to have it.
Easy there, we don't know for sure that this even is an artifact yet.
Regardless, I'll pass on the message to my subordinates right away. I'll leave the rest here to you, Gustav.
You got it. Let's see what we're dealing with, yeah?
Und dann haben sie es da rausgezogen. Okay, that's the spot. Das ist wie dieses Kranspiel, wo man immer kein Spielzeug kriegt, weil das vorher immer schon runterfällt.
Go on ahead. Yes, ma'am. Beginning to salvage operation.
Ne, und? Gleich kommt, du hast verloren. God, that sound just fills me with dread. Does the salvage crane sound like it's in poor condition to you? Oh, that's not really what I meant. I just can't bring myself to like artifacts, you see. We can't explain how they have the power they do, but they have it, and it's not something we can ignore either. As a researcher, I can barely imagine anything more frustrating. Even when we can't help but be captivated by them, We are well aware that any attempt to solve their mysteries is pointless. I see. When you put it in that way, I can understand to a degree how you must feel. Also, quasi ein Gottesbeweis, was man durch wissenschaftlich nicht erklären kann, ist ein Gottesbeweis, oder wie? Half a year has passed since all the chaos came to an end, and on the surface, we're back to normal. But even now, we still don't know what truly happened here or what is signified. Yeah. Not that I was here to see it all happen, of course. Aha. Aber Tida hat alles gesehen, ne? The crane arms reach the bottom of the lake. I'm gonna attempt to grip the object. Ja. Swing and miss. Moving 30 reach the right. Ja, probier's nochmal. Haha, there we go. Yep, we've got it. Want me to pull it up? Please do. The moment of truth, huh? Und dann kam das hoch, was die da jetzt in dem Primal Ground haben, ne? Here we go. Und es leuchtet. What? Oh my. Und so ist es hier gelandet. I see. Still looking at it. Correct. There were audible readings coming from the artifact when we found it, but not anymore. And I'm sure I don't need to spell out the significance of that, do I? No. It's plain as day why you decided to stay and wait for me now. If an artifact has lost its power, it's exempt from the traditional agreements governing them and doesn't need to be given to the church, that it? You already understand me so well, we can't cut right to the chase then. The audible readings disappeared just before we handed the artifact over to the cathedral, as it so happens. It's currently being locked after here, but the formal procedures to transfer ownerships have yet to be completed, making its legal owner unclear. So, in your expert opinion, what should be done here? This is a tricky one. I'm assuming Libel wants to assert ownership of it in this scenario, right? If anything, it's the professor here who wants to do that. I'm merely here accompanying her as a representative of the Royal Army. The only reason it's not lying at the bottom of Valeria Lake right now is because of ZCF's salvage efforts. I'd say we have every right to keep it, personally. Okay, Zeiss Central Factory heißt ZCF, ne? Denke ich mal. From what I've heard, it's completely impossible to analyze an artifact that's no longer active. I don't see how it would be of any use to your research as things stand now. But you sure you want it that badly? Oh, absolutely. We're talking about an object found at the site of where a massive flying city used to be. I might not have seen it happen, but it sounds like everything we thought we knew about the world was more or less proven wrong. So, you know, by the truth that you people in the church have kept hidden for the past, I don't know, 1,000 years? As for that Ouroboros group, they don't make much more sense than you guys. The more I hear of the advances in technology, the less I can work out how it's even possible. Ja, die haben diesen Dr. Novartis oder so, ne? Der irgendwie klingt wie so ein schmieriger Internetdoktor oder sowas. I don't know what the truth is or what's really happening here in this land. Der klingt wie so ein schmieriger Internetdoktor, der dir per E-Mail eine Penisvergrößerung anbietet. But I can't stand by and feign disinterest in knowing the answers anymore, and I'm far from alone. So long as there's the slightest chance that Artifact could shed light on all of what I want to know, I want it. I think you've made your point, Professor. It's not as though interrogating him will achieve anything. True enough. Well, you've heard what I've got to say. It's now up to you to tell us what you're going to do. Will you hand over that lump of metal, or won't you? Well, that brief hesitation was all it took to spawn a great evil. Wer ist das denn jetzt? Ach, guck mal. Eine, die kennen wir doch aus dem Opening. Who is she? No way. It crawled through the fields and ran through the hills and spread disaster in the skies above. An excerpt from the book of Isa, verse 2, Disaster Unleashed. Eine Schwester der Kirche. I apologize for the delay in coming, Father Graham. My name is Rhys Argent, and I am a squire of the Gralsritter. I look forward to working under you. I didn't think we'd end up having more company. Wait a second. Is something the matter? So that's how they think they can get me, isn't it? But they can't just bribe me so easily. I'm better than that. Huh? Well, maybe I underestimated the Gralsritter. They think they can't break my will to fight by sending a girl like you in my way, do they? But I'm not going to go down so easily because I've got a secret weapon of my own. Behold, the most powerful force in the universe. Ein Foto von Tida. Isn't that... That's Tida, isn't it? How cute. Isn't she? Isn't she? I bet you just want to jump into this photo and squeeze her like a stuffed toy right now, don't you? I should have known a cutie patootie like you would be able to appreciate the same qualities in others. Ja gut. Anyway, that's why no matter how frigging adorable you may happen to be, you can't take me down because I've got a natural immunity. I beg your pardon, but I'm afraid I'm not really following. You keep saying that someone is cute, but are you referring to me? Ja, irgendwie schon. Who else would I be talking about? You've got such an aura of maturity about you, and yet your features still have that irresistible trace of innocence to them. And then they throw you into a sister's habit to compliment it like a little cherry on top. That's the most flattering habit I've ever seen. If I didn't have my protective field, I'd be in real danger here. Why are you looking at me like that? I'm just saying. Might I inquire as to the identities of the people with you, Father Graham? Sure. The lady's Professor Erica Russell of Central Factory, while the gentleman is Lieutenant Colonel Sid of the Royal Army. Seriously though, Father Graham, really? So you're the people who initially discovered the artifact then. Thank you for your cooperation in our work. We will take over looking after it from here on out. That will be all. Wait, ja, sie wollte das doch jetzt haben. What? Hold on a minute, we hadn't finished deciding what to do with it yet. Perhaps not, but my intention was to save you the time and effort required to do so by making the correct judgment myself. Whether it has lost its power or not. That is no ordinary artifact, it is potentially related to one of the Septarions. I'm surprised that you even humored the option of letting an outsider take custody of it. I mean... Well, you sure know how to pick a fight. Go on then, what legal basis do you have for taking it from us? The agreements with the church quite clearly say that artifacts that have lost their power are exempt from the usual rules. I have no legal basis, but you have no more of one for keeping it. If we are following the agreements to the letter, no one is allowed to assert ownership of inactive artifacts. It belongs to neither you nor me. It is simply an abandoned object with no owner whatsoever. What? So all you got is, I don't need a reason, it's mine and that's a final? To put it bluntly, yes. Well, if that's how you wanted to play it. What's your take on this, Kevin Graham? Well, by all means.
Me? I thought I'd be kicked out of this conversation. But, well, I can't say I don't want to take it back to Arteria with us. But after all the help Liberal's given us, I'd feel kinda bad just snatching it from them without even giving them a valid reason.
Both arguments have a degree of merit, but neither is clearly more correct. I'm not quite sure about you'll solve this one.
You do know that you're smack dab in the middle of this too, right?
Was ist denn jetzt los? What is it? Why do you both look so surprised? Habt ihr das nicht mitbekommen?
What do you mean, why?
Did the two of you not hear that? Hear what? Wait Oh. Von wegen, das hat seine Power verloren. Die Power ist immer noch da. Das öffnet sich. Und da ist irgendein Würfel drin. Wow. Oh, no way! That thing wasn't giving off any orbital readings at all anymore. Zero, zip. Why is it suddenly active again? I believe that settles our dispute.
It sure does. So the real artifact was inside, huh? I've never seen one quite like it. It looks like a box of some kind, or a cube maybe.
Ein leuchtender Würfel. Aber wofür ist er da? Oh.
I'd like to thank you for your cooperation in recovery of this artifact. In accordance with the pacts of the Church, I, Kevin Graham, will be assuming custody of it from here on out. You and all who aided you have the Septian Church's deepest appreciation.
Ja, aber haben könnte das jetzt nicht mehr. Das war's dann wohl mit der Chance auf die Weitergabe an Tidas Mutter.
Phew, I thought we were never gonna escape. Erika sure doesn't know when to quit.
That's a kind way of putting it.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing right at the end, though. Just as I thought she'd max out her crazy talk to Spoo, she goes and shouts, "Well, if you're going to be taking that, then I'll be taking her." I thought Annalise was one-of-a-kind cuteness freak, but she might actually have some stiff competition.
Annalise?
Oh, sorry, she's a girl I met while I was here last time.
Ja, eine, die ich nicht besonders gerne mag.
She's a bracer, about your age, I think.
Oh.
Reese?
Yes?
You're not mad at me, are you? For not keeping in touch with you?
Father Graham.
Yes?
5 years is a long time. Just as you have changed and progressed in rank significantly during those years, so have I. The Reese Argent standing before you is a squire of the Gralsritter, not the girl you once knew. I am here to serve and protect you, nothing more.
Come on, Reese.
You need not concern yourself with how I feel. If you don't treat me as a subordinate, then there is little reason for me to be here serving you. Dann scheint ihr also eine gemeinsame Vergangenheit zu haben. And with that talk out of the way, we need to board the last international liner out of Gransel, don't we? We should start making our way to the landing port.
Wait a sec.
War das gerade ein Magen?
Was that your...
It was a figment of your imagination.
Huh?
You seem to be tired, Father Graham. I see no other explanation as to why you're hearing sounds that clearly don't exist in reality. I think you ought to try and have some rest when we reach the airship. Da war's wieder. Ich hab's genau gehört. As I was saying, I think you ought to try and have some rest.
Don't even try and tell me that one was my imagination. Man, for a second I thought you'd changed, but you haven't, not one bit. You're still the same perpetually hungry Reese I remember.
This is just a simple physiological phenomenon. My lack of control is proof that I still have plenty of training ahead of me. I can only apologize for my own inability.
Since when did not being able to turn off your stomach become something you have to apologize for? Besides, I wouldn't have you any other way. You're forever gonna be the girl who was always getting caught sneaking into the kitchen and trying to stuff her face to me.
I'll be going on ahead.
Hey, wait a sec.
You're in my way, please move.
I'm sorry, okay, I didn't mean to push my luck.
Hast du, das war ganz schön gemein.
I just got carried away thinking of old times, that's all.
You have no reason to apologize. Nor do I see any point in doing so, because there are few things in this world that carry less weight than one of your apologies.
Damn, finally biting back, huh? Well, I've got a 50-50 chance of you listening to me. Can you knock it off with the Father Graham, or even Father for that matter?
For what reason?
I don't know if you're doing it because you feel like you have to, or because you want to act all distant. But there's no way I can get used to it, like ever. It weirds me out. So please, call me Kevin, same as you always did.
What if I refuse?
Then I'll beg you until you change your mind. I'll get down on my knees if I have to.
You certainly would.
Well, you know what they say, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I know it's been a while since, but I'm way too set in my ways now.
The one left me.
Sorry, didn't quite catch that.
It was nothing. Still, I can't very well refuse an order from my superiors, so...
Oh no, you're playing that game. It's not an order, it's a favor. Very important distinction.
Ja, sie will ganz distanziert tun. You're so selfish, Kevin.
There we go, that's what I wanted.
But just so we're clear, even if I've changed how I address you, the fact that I'm your subordinate hasn't changed in the slightest. Don't forget that. Ja. Kann sein, dass sie ein bisschen Zundere ist.
Yeah, I know. We can talk like we used to, but there's no way to turn back the clock to the way things used to be. Oh, and one more thing. We've still got some time until the last airship leaves, so how about we head over to the department store in the East Block? We can grab you something you can eat.
I like the sound of that. I propose buying all the bread they have left.
I didn't know you were that hungry.
Ja, kauf den Laden leer. Kauf den Laden leer. Stört keinen.
I thought you were joking when you said you were going to buy everything they had left. The girl behind the counter looked like she thought you were a freak of nature.
Ist sie auch irgendwie. This is just another example of ideas divine providence. It's better that they are brought by someone who intends to consume them than to have the poor things to be thrown away.
Yeah, you're a real bleeding heart. But that much? I hope you're not spending your entire salary on food.
I'll have you know that you have nothing to worry about. There are few people in this world who know how to make better use of sales and special offers than I.
Well, whatever makes you happy. It's not my business how you blow your mirror at the end of the day. Still, Well, I'll give you that my getup is right up the top of the suspicious charts. I'm pretty sure anyone would be confused if a woman in a sister's habit came wandering into their shop after dark to buy out the leftovers. Yeah? Oh, stop your grumbling. And it's almost time for us to leave. We should make our way over to the landing port. I'm not sure how much longer my stomach can wait. Yes, ma'am. Huh? Is something... Da war doch gerade jemand. Sorry, that stomach of yours is gonna have to wait a little longer. Unforgivable. I don't know who this fiend is, but as long as I don't kill them, I can go as far as I like, right? Ja, das ist die persönliche Rache dafür, dass du jetzt nichts essen kannst. I sympathize, but you might wanna calm down a little. Still, whoever they are, they're not very good at tailing people. Quite. I doubt they have much experience. They do seem to have undergone irgendwas. Ich habe aus Versehen die Taste gedrückt gehalten. Oh well, sad to say, but we're going to have to skip today's last airship out of here. Do you know of a good place to strike? Oh, I do. I know the perfect place. Ja? Welchen? Der Harbor District hier. Ist das Gilbert? Ist das Gilbert gewesen? Das ist Gilbert, oder? Where did they go? I saw them enter this area. I'm sure of it. It was you, huh? What? Die größte Wurst aller Zeiten kriegt es nicht mal hin, Leute zu verfolgen, sondern wird von denen verfolgt. How? How did you discover me? My stealth abilities are the highest of perfection. You're just like I remember you. Still way too sure of yourself. Who might he be? Well, he's technically part of Ouroboros. He's about as low-ranking a member as you can get, though. Ah, I see. He does look the part. How dare you! I'll have you know I am very much on the up. And as for you, what do you mean he does look the part? You couldn't look more like a nobody if you tried. Ist ja auch einfach so ein richtiger Nobody. You're the kind of person who constantly throws himself into things too big to handle and ends up sabotaging himself without anyone lifting a finger. Ja, jemand, der sich selbst ausnocken würde. And you refuse to learn from any of your failures too. What? You haven't lost your touch. I'm impressed how accurately you were able to judge his character after talking to him for like a second. I didn't even need to talk to him. He oozes irrelevance from his every pore. You! Cocky, aren't you? Well, let's see how long that cockiness lasts. Er hat eine Waffe. Bah. Gah! A Templar sword? So that's what you picked, huh? Just like you chose a bowgun as your weapon of choice, I chose a Templar sword for mine. That's all there is to it. Ja, sie ist auch mehr ein Angriffscharakter, würde ich mal behaupten. Gotcha. Ja. Impossible. What did you just do? I don't even know how I got hit. It's a weapon used by the Gralsritter called a Templar sword. The blade's made of multiple pieces held together by wires that let the user extend it at will. Anyway, it's time those lips start flapping. What's a wanted criminal like you doing here in Gransel? How much of our business do you know? Why should I have to answer your... Yeah? You don't know when to give up. Start talking now. For your info, she's not in a good mood. And, you don't want to make her any madder.
It looks like you've got only one option. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. so eine richtige Wurst. I'm only here because I crash landed. I didn't even want to come here. And after I did, I happened to see you too, so I decided to follow you. I swear. Maybe I misjudged him. There might be more to him than meets the eye, in a sense. That's a nice way of putting it. Er scheint noch erbärmlicher zu sein, als du ihn eingeschätzt hast, ne? So go on, keep talking. You said you crash-landed. Here. That means there's a Roboros airship somewhere near here that you came on, right? No, there isn't. I did crash-land, but it wasn't on board an airship. Sondern... It was on board this! What the... He has an archasm? Not so irrelevant now, am I? Show them what you can do, G Apache! Mow them down! Schon sind wir im nächsten Kampf. Ich werde wahrscheinlich die Aufnahme in 2 Teile splitten müssen. Denn so wird das etwas lang. Guck mal, Mortal Punishment machen. Mach das doch nochmal. Guck mal, das macht sogar tatsächlich was. Und dann kippt er um. Ja, super. Jetzt kann ich sie dann nicht wegbewegen, ne? Tag Delay, sie ist eingefroren. Ich will nochmal dran erinnern, ich hatte bisher noch überhaupt keine Chance, irgendwas ihr dingstechnisch zu geben, ne? Also, sie kann eigentlich, ne? Also ich hatte noch keine Chance, ihr irgendeine Ausrüstung zu geben, um sie zu schützen. So meine ich das. Also erstmal gehst du jetzt zu Gilbert und greifst ihn an. Attacke. Das Viech ist wieder dran. Bullet Barrage. Nicht getroffen. Nicht getroffen. Arsch versoffen. Dann greifst du Gilbert wieder an. Die Wurst muss sterben. Die Wurst muss sterben. Ja. Du kannst Ries einmal heilen. Jetzt sind die wieder dran. So. Und was kannst du denn für Crafts? Du kannst Arc-Fencer. Bringt aber nicht viel, weil du kannst nur einen damit treffen. Dann greifst du den ganz normal an. Kannst du mit deinem Mortal Punishment wieder beide treffen? Nein, dann greifst du auch normal an. Ja. Oh mein Gott, das ist... Er ist halt so eine Wurst einfach, ey. Die Gilbert-Kämpfe sind so toll. Ach, Mann. Aber ich mach keinen Schaden mehr jetzt auf ihn. Art. Du kannst... Wir machen mal Flare Arrow auf ihn. Ja gut, wir kriegen ihn mit Arts dann down. Art, du kannst hier Petrosphere, Binds for the Legs, Move minus 40, ne, das brauche ich nicht. Ich brauche schon irgendwie, kannst du eigentlich auch Ascension, Create a Feel, Dark Matter, gut, dann mach halt Shadow Spear auf den. Das war's mit Gilbert. Jetzt ist nur noch das Apache-Vieh dran. Critical Mode, Attack up, okay. Shadow Spear. Hier, sein Angriff ist hoch und die Art Defense. Gut, dass Kevin jetzt wieder restored ist, was seine Attack angeht. Ja, mich stört, dass Ries halt kein S-Craft hat. So, Art. Oder mach einfach Craft. Sacred Breath. Das war doch das, ne? Oh, hier, Sacred Breath. Es bringt vor allem auch überhaupt nichts, mit ihm den Sacrifice Arrow zu machen. Weil, was bringt es mir, wenn sie viele CP hat? Jetzt 50 HP. Ah, okay. Das kann einen heilen. Gut. Die hat auch einen Heilcraft. Sogar die K.O. K.O. wiederbeleben kann, wollte ich gerade irgendwie sagen, aber das macht gar keinen Sinn, den Satz so zu stehen zu lassen. So, du stellst dich jetzt dahin, wo du nicht getroffen wirst. Kevin, du movest jetzt hier hin, wo du auch nicht getroffen wirst. Jetzt könnt ihr angreifen. Er hat nicht getroffen noch. Wie schade. Es kommt davon, wenn man so langsam beim Zielen ist. Und das war's. Sie ist eine Stufe unter uns, okay. No! Also, Gilbert, was hast du wirklich hier gemacht? Curse you! Do you have any idea how much I had to go through to earn that?
You really are full of surprises, aren't you? I'm impressed, Reese. You sure know how to get the best out of that thing.
Not at all. I've still got a lot to learn. Especially if I want to be half as good as my sister.
Hey, still I'm no different.
Kevin,
Anyway. I'd wager you're out of tricks now, so... You're ready to give up and come quietly? If you don't try and cause any more trouble, I'll hand you over to the soldiers here and leave it at that.
You're planning to hand me over to the Royal Army?
That's your best option. If you really want us to take you back to Arteria instead, that's cool by me. But if you go with that one, I can't guarantee your safety. I'll leave that one to you.
Huh? Again? What was that?
This thing again? It starts glowing so randomly.
Maybe it's reacting to something. What is that thing? What are you planning on doing?
Nothing to you, don't worry. Shut up for a second. What's up with this thing?
So the time to begin is finally upon us. Nee, das ist jemand anderes. Ich dachte, das wäre wieder dieser Weird Mask Guy da.
Hä?
What?
What?
When did you...
It's a pleasure to see you again, Kevin Graham.
Irgendwie sieht der übelst aus wie Löwe. Vor allem auch von Lieutenant Lawrence hat man früher immer nur den Mund gesehen. Und ich finde, das hat schon Ähnlichkeit. Der hat Ähnlichkeit mit Lieutenant Lawrence, also Löwe. Und ich verstehe aber nicht, warum. Löwe war ja eigentlich tot und er war ja auch nicht böse.
Traverse of the pathless darkness, repenting of his transgressions with the sin of a stigma forever on his back. Huh? Who the hell are you?
Hat er gerade seine Maske abgesetzt?
Wow!
Kevin!
Thus my lord was... Come forth, offerings, come forth, lost lambs. Burn to ashes in the ever-blazing flames.
Wie cool, dass man das gar nicht so schnell lesen kann, wie das da stand. Ich mag das nicht, wenn sowas automatisch weitergeht.
What happened? Why did I...
Ja.
Where am I? Hey, Ries.
Geht's dir gut?
Ries, are you okay? What's going on?
Wo seid ihr? Und wo ist Gilbert? Kevin? Where are we?
Phew, I'm glad you're okay. How are you feeling? Any pain?
I feel sick.
You do?
My stomach's going to implode if it doesn't get any food soon. Stimmt, das hatten wir verschoben, ne? I'm starting on all that food we bought.
Sure, I'd normally be just as down for food as you are, but come on. Is that really what you should be thinking about right now?
There's nothing in this world more important or fundamental than eating. Ja, aber wo sind wir? But if we must change the subject, I remember a strange man appearing, then that cube glowing white all of a sudden. Then...
Yeah, I don't remember any more than that either.
Es muss auf jeden Fall jemand sein, der Kevin kennt. Und er sieht sehr aus wie Löwe und irgendwie verstehe ich, also falls es Löwe ist, verstehe ich nicht wieso und wie.
But take a look around us.
Ja, es ist eine Bibliothek oder so, ne? Stone bookcases? Are we inside of some kind of ruin? No, wait. What? Ja, genau. Da ist ein Baum, da ist irgendeine Quelle. The Hermit's Garden.
Yeah. So much for this being an easy assignment.
Prolog Ende. So, dann haben wir jetzt schon den Prolog durch. Ich würde mal behaupten, wir sehen uns dann an dieser Stelle beim nächsten Mal wieder. Bei Trails in the Sky the Third. Bis dann, Leute. Ciao.